Okay, ready to dive deep into something we all deal with. Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
You think you have a handle on your sugar intake.
I try to.
Well, this Spavelous article, the one you shared,
Yeah.
calls sugar a sweet threat and claims the average person eats double the recommended daily amount of sugar.
Wow.
It makes you wonder what's really hiding in our food right now.
It really is fascinating because it's like a sugar overload, but it goes way beyond weight. It's a public health issue. It's like a sugar epidemic.
It's sneaky.
And it's so sneaky.
So tell me more about this whole sweet threat thing. How much sugar are we talking about here?
Okay, so get this. The average person consumes about 17 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Oh, wow.
That's more than twice the recommended amount.
No way.
And to make matters worse, the food industry uses over 50 different names for sugar on food labels.
Really?
It's like they're hiding it in plain sight.
I wonder, it feels like we're constantly battling those sugar cravings. It's like we're being outsmarted by our own food. But before we swear off sweetness altogether,
Right.
let's unpack. WHY, too much sugar is so bad for us.
Yes, it's about more than just fitting into your favorite pair of jeans. This isn't just a weight issue, it's a health issue. Impacts your entire body.
So let's break down those health risks. The article mentions cardiovascular disease, and it even uses a car engine analogy. Can you tell me more about that?
So imagine pouring sugar into your car's gas tank.
Okay.
Not a good idea, right? That's essentially what we're doing to our bodies with excess sugar. It gums up the works, and in this case, the works is your heart.
So we're talking about like long-term damage here, not just like a quick sugar rush and crash.
Exactly. Over time, this overload can lead to some serious cardiovascular problems. In fact, high sugar intake can triple your risk of heart disease.
Triple. Wow. Okay, that puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
And speaking of serious conditions, the article also talks about diabetes.
Right, and think of it this way. Your body is a finely tuned machine.
Right.
And like any machine, it needs the right fuel to function correctly.
Makes sense.
When we overload on sugar, it's like throwing a wrench into that machinery, particularly when it comes to our blood sugar levels.
So it's not just about our taste buds here, it's about how our body processes this.
Absolutely. The article talks about how the pancreas works overtime to produce insulin,
Right.
which is a hormone that helps regulate blood sugar, right?
Okay, yeah.
But when we constantly bombard our system with sugar, our cells can become resistant to insulin, and that can lead to type 2 diabetes.
Which is a chronic condition that affects millions of people.
Yeah, and the numbers they're pretty staggering. Millions are already grappling with diabetes, and many more are on the verge of it, which highlights just how widespread this issue has become.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've talked about how sugar impacts our heart health, blood sugar regulation, but the article also mentions inflammation.
Right.
And it feels like inflammation is linked to so many different health concerns these days.
Yeah, and for good reason. Think of chronic inflammation as like a low-grade fire. It's just simmering inside your body. Oh, okay.
Excess sugar is like adding fuel to that fire, keeping it burning constantly.
And that constant state of inflammation, like that fire, that can't be good.
No.
Yeah.
You got it. It creates like a domino effect,
Oh, okay.
increasing the risk a whole range of issues, from high blood pressure to fatty liver disease.
Wow.
The article even links it to a surprising number of other health problems.
Yeah, it's amazing how something as like seemingly harmless as sugar can have such a widespread impact. It really makes you think about sugar differently when you consider all of this, right? But the part about sugar and aging really caught my eye. I always knew too much sweet stuff wasn't doing my wrinkles any favors.
Right.
But this article took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, it's true. We're not just talking about how sugar affects the way we look on the outside, but how it impacts us at a cellular level.
Right. And the science behind it is actually kind of fascinating. The article mentions something called telomeres,
Okay.
which act like protective caps on our DNA.
Telomeres. Now, those ring a bell. Aren't those kind of like the plastic tips on shoelaces?
Yes.
That keep them from fraying?
Exactly.
Huh.
Just like those plastic tips protect your shoelaces, telomeres protect our DNA from damage and degradation,
Okay.
which is a key factor in aging. But, and here's the catch, sugar can actually shorten these telomeres.
So wait, the more sugar we consume, the more damage your DNA is exposed to?
Yes.
And the faster we age.
That's the gist of it, yeah. And shorter telomeres are also linked to a higher risk of age-related diseases. So it's not just about looking younger, it's about feeling younger and reducing our risk for those chronic conditions that tend to crop up as we age.
Okay, that's a lot to digest. So we're talking about damage at the cellular level, increased risk of age-related diseases. What about the big picture? Does sugar actually impact, like, our lifespan?
This is where it gets even more interesting and a bit sobering. Research suggests that excessive sugar consumption, particularly from sugary drinks, is linked to an increased risk of premature death.
Okay, now I'm really listening. What kind of increase are we talking about?
It's significant. The article states that women who have 2 or more sugary drinks a day increase their risk of premature death by a startling 63%.
63%, that's huge.
Yeah, it is a powerful statistic. And for men, the risk increase is still substantial at 29%. So these numbers really highlight the importance of our dietary choices and their very real impact on our health and longevity.
Wow. There's no denying those are some eye-opening statistics. It makes you think twice about reaching for that soda. But we've covered a lot of heavy stuff today. Heart health, diabetes, premature aging. I want to end on a lighter note. The article also touches on how sugar impacts our skin, and I have to admit, that's the part that always gets me thinking about cutting back on sweets.
Ah, yes, the visible effects of sugar. It all boils down to collagen and elastin,
Right.
the proteins that keep our skin looking firm, plump, and youthful.
Right. And sugar wreaks havoc on those, right? Tell me it's not true.
Unfortunately, it's true. Sugar contributes to the formation of AGEs, advanced glycation end products, which damage collagen and elastin, leading to wrinkles, sagging, and a loss of that youthful glow.
So basically, sugar is like the ultimate frenemy. It might taste good in the moment, but ultimately betrays us with wrinkles and health problems down the line.
It's a good analogy. But on a more positive note, the good news is we're not powerless in this equation. Knowledge is power. And by understanding how sugar impacts our bodies, we can make informed choices to curb our cravings and protect our health.
I love that. So instead of dwelling on the doom and gloom, let's talk solutions. The article offers a ton of advice, but for the sake of our listeners' time, let's highlight a few of the most, I guess, surprising and actionable tips they can use to start reducing their sugar intake today. And I have to say, the one that jumped out to me was prioritizing sleep.
Yeah, it might seem counterintuitive, but when we're sleep deprived, our bodies crave quick energy fixes. And what's a quick energy fix? Sugar. So getting enough sleep can actually help regulate those sugar cravings.
So basically, a good night's rest can lead to better food choices. I can get behind that. And it ties in perfectly with the next tip, mindful eating.
Mindful eating is a game changer. It's about being truly present with your food, savoring the flavors, textures, and aromas rather than just mindlessly scarfing it down.
Which I am so guilty of. It's so easy to, like, devour a bag of chips while watching TV and not even realize how much I've eaten.
Exactly. But by slowing down, paying attention to your body's hunger cues, and really tasting your food, you're more likely to feel satisfied and less likely to overeat or reach for sugary treats.
It's about making conscious choices throughout the day. I like it. Now, this last one was new to me. Glutamine.
Glutamine is an amino acid that plays a role in reducing sugar cravings.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Where can we load up on this magical amino acid?
You can find glutamine in foods like chicken, fish, bone broth, and spinach, to name a few.
So a healthy, balanced diet is key. It sounds like there's a common thread here about giving our bodies what they truly need: enough sleep, nourishing foods, and mindful awareness to break free from that sugar dependency.
You got it. It's not about deprivation, it's about nourishment. By nourishing our bodies with what they need to thrive, we naturally reduce those cravings and create a healthier relationship with food and with sugar.
That's a great point to end on. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of sugar, what's the one takeaway you hope our listener walks away with?
You know, what really stood out to me from the article was the connection between sugar consumption and gut health.
Interesting.
It raised an interesting question. Could nurturing a healthy gut microbiome be the key to managing those sugar cravings long term? It's something to ponder as you embark on your journey to a less sugar lifestyle.
That is fascinating. It's not just about cutting out sugar. It's about cultivating a balanced internal ecosystem that naturally supports healthier choices. This deep dive has been full of eye-opening insights, and we hope it's empowered you to make more informed decisions about your health and well-being. Until next time, stay curious.